Good morning, class. So today we will discuss blood. So to start with, what are the functions of blood? So the blood transport gases, nutrients, and waste products. It also transport processed molecules such as vitamin D, and also transport regulatory molecules that regulates the pH and the osmosis and maintains the body temperature, protection against foreign substances. That's why we have the white blood cells, and also for the clot formation, especially if there are wounds and or trauma. So the platelets are the one that will create the clot to stop the bleeding. So what is the composition of blood? So it is a sticky, heavier than water, with higher temperature than the rest of the body. And blood is more in males than females. And this is a connective tissue that consists of a liquid matrix that contains cells and cell fragments. So it is the plasma, which is the fluid portion of the blood, and the form elements, which is the RBC, the WBC, and our platelets. So what is plasma? So it is 55% of the total blood component. So it is a pale yellow fluid that surrounds the cell. So it is 91% water with 7% proteins and 2% of other molecules such as ions, nutrients, gases, and waste products. And it contains dissolved proteins. So we have three types: the albumin, the globulins, and the fibrinogen. From the three of these proteins, the albumin is the most abundant. So it maintains the water balance and responsible for the transportation of our nutrients. Then we also have the globulin. So it helps with the immune system and also for transportation. So the globulins examples are our immunoglobulins, the IgG, IgM, IgA, IgE, and IgD. And we have the fibrinogen, so which acts for the clot formation. So with the help of our platelet. Then yan. So it converts into fibrin to form the blood clot. Then we also have the serum. So serum is the plasma without the clotting factors. So kapag nagkuha po kayo ng dugo at gumamit kayo ng blue tap o the sodium citrate vacutainer tube, so what you will have is the plasma. But if you use a yellow tap or a red tap and you centrifuge the tube, then what will you have is the serum. So wala na siyang clotting factors. So kaya plasma yung nakukuha natin sa sodium citrate because the sodium citrate is the one that prevents the clotting. Yan. So kaya plasma pa din yung ating makukuha. Yan. So what are the form elements? So we have the erythrocytes or the RBC, the leukocytes, the WBC, and the thrombocytes are our platelets. So most of our form elements are RBC. So it constitutes to 95% of the volume, followed by our WBC that are most likely composed of neutrophils, then 5% are our platelets. Okay, so what is the production of form elements? So we have this process which what we call as the hematopoiesis or process of blood cell production. It occurs in the liver, the thymus, the spleen, also in the lymph nodes, and lastly to the red bone marrow within the fetus. So after birth, the hematopoiesis confined to red bone marrow and white blood cells are made in the lymphatic tissue. So all form elements are derived from one stem cell, which is known as the hemocytoblast. So it differentiates to give rise to form elements. So from this blast, it differentiates to form the erythroblast and the other WBC, the lymphoblast, and so monoblast, and so it also regulates specific growth factors. So these growth factors determine the types of form elements derived from stem cells and how many form elements are produced. And so katulad na nabanggit ko kanina, from the hemocytoblast, so magkakaroon ng dalawang progenitor cells, our CMP and our CLP. So our common myeloid progenitor are the one that is responsible for our RBC in our WBC, which are the basophil, neutrophil, eosinophil, and monocyte, while our CLP is the one that responsible for differentiating lymphocytes into B lymphocyte and T lymphocyte. Okay, so let's start with red blood cells or RBC. So they are biconcave in shape and increases the surface area. During development, RBC lose their nuclei and their organelles. So they are unable to divide. So they are not, unlike our WBC, this RBC cannot divide. So they can, and only they can live for 120 days. So after 120 days, they will die, and it will turn into bilirubin and will be, its substance will be converted and be used again for process. And 1/3 of the RBC's volume is from our hemoglobin. So heme, or the iron, plus the globin, which is the protein. That gives the blood its red color. So function of the RBC is to transport oxygen from the lungs to various tissue of the body and transport carbon dioxide from the tissues back to the lungs. Okay, so oxygen transport is accomplished by the hemoglobin. So it composed of 4 protein chains and form heme groups. So 98.5% of the oxygen transport is due to hemoglobin. So 1 globin is bound to 1 heme. So, and a 1 heme contains 1 iron atom for function. So each iron can reversibly bind to an oxygen molecule. So this hemoglobin picks up the oxygen in the lungs and releases oxygen in the other tissues. Okay, so the bright red hemoglobin, it's bound to oxygen, so it is called the oxyhemoglobin, while the deoxyhemoglobin is darker red and has bluish hemoglobin that is not bound to oxygen. So 1.5% of oxygen transport is done by being dissolved in the plasma. Okay, so other than oxygen, the carbon monoxide can also bind to hemoglobin, such as this carbon monoxide has more higher affinity than our oxygen. So kapag nagkaroon ng carbon monoxide in the body, it will and there has been large amount, so magkakaroon tayo ng carbon monoxide poisoning. So magbabind yung ating RBC more in our carbon monoxide rather than binding in our oxygen. So it tends to not unbind. So hemoglobin bound to carbon monoxide, yan, can no longer transport oxygen and can cause nausea, headache, unconsciousness, and death. So if you are familiar with what happened to the brother and father of Carol Banawa, so nagkaroon ng carbon monoxide poisoning kasi they slept in their car while waiting for Carol Banawas to end her concert or gig. So, natulog sila sa sakyan, tapos, if I'm not mistaken, namatay yung kapatid. Then, parang her father is alive, pero parang he didn't hindi niya na nakubalik, or hindi niya na yung kanyang na-regain yung kanyang health. Yan. So there has been a problem with his brain kasi nawala ng oxygen. Yan. So carbon dioxide is produced in tissue, transported in blood to lungs, then removed from blood. So our CO2 transport involves bicarbonate ions, hemoglobin, and plasma. And the 70% is transported in form of bicarbonate ions. So with the use of the carbonic anhydrase that are found in the RBC, it catalyzes the reaction that converts carbon dioxide and oxygen and hydrogen into and water into hydrogen and bicarbonate. So every time na merong carbon dioxide, laging merong bicarbonate ion to act upon. So the carbon dioxide can reversibly bind to globin part of the hemoglobin, making up about 23% of carbon dioxide transport. So the remaining 7% of carbon dioxide is transported by being dissolved in the plasma. Okay. So this is the carbon monoxide poisoning. So 0 to 20%, so no symptoms. And when there is 10 to 20% of carbon monoxide in the body, there will be headache and shortness of breath. Then 20 to 30, there will be nausea and dizziness. When increased to 30 to 40%, there will be severe headache, vomiting, and fatigue. By 40 to 50, the patient will be confused, passing out, and it will increase the heart rate and the breathing rate. And by 50 to 60, there will be seizure and coma. And by 70, it can be rapidly fatal and cause death. The life history of RBC. So 2.5 million RBCs are destroyed each second, so produced just as rapidly. So stem cells forms the proerythroblast, give rise to the red blood cell line. So it involves series of cell division. So after the final division, the red blood cells loses its nuclei and become completely mature RBCs. Yan. So from the hemocytoblast, the committed cell will be the proerythroblast. So the proerythroblast will be the starting point of our RBC. So from this proerythroblast, there will be the developmental pathway, which starts with the early erythroblast. That is wherein we can find the ribosome synthesis. And then by our phase 2, from late erythroblast to normoblast, there will be the hemoglobin accumulation, and by phase 3, the nucleus will be ejected from the RBC. Then it will become reticulocytes, and after a few days, after a few hours, it will become erythrocyte. Okay, so cell division. So it requires folate and vitamin B12 for DNA synthesis, and also it requires iron for the production of our hemoglobin. So the RBC production is sparked by low blood oxygen level. So kapag mababa yung ating oxygen, so mag-i-increase sa ating RBC production. Usually, yan. So tumataas siya. Results from lower number of RBCs, defective hemoglobin, lung disease, and also because by high altitude, so kapag mountain climber, mas mataas yung ating RBC count, and also kapag nag-endurance exercise. So low blood oxygen levels sparked by RBC production by increasing release of glycoprotein by kidney. So it is the erythropoietin or the EPO. So the EPO is the one that stimulates the red bone marrow to make more RBC. So negative feedback system. So the EPO release can be increased or decreased depending on blood oxygen level. So kapag yung mga taong nakatira sa high altitude, mga mountain people, so they tend to have increase EPO to increase the RBC production, to increase their oxygen content in their body. Kasi since mataas yung altitude, mas mababa yung oxygen sa taas. So what the body does is to create more RBC to compensate. Yan. So there are different types of anemia. So we have the iron deficiency anemia. So there is a low level of iron in the blood. And we also have pernicious anemia, which means low vitamin B12 in the blood. Then we also have the sickle cell anemia and folic acid deficiency anemia. So there will be a decreased amount of folic acid. Usually, yung folic acid deficiency anemia are commonly found or manifested during pregnancy. That's why it's very important that these pregnant women takes folic acid. Yan. So because this folic acid can also um, help in the development of their fetus. So pag mababa po yung folic acid sa mga buntis, pwede pong magkaroon ng mga um, disorder or pwede pong mamatay yung baby na kanilang pinagdadala. And we also have the aplastic anemia and the polycythemia. Yan. So red blood cell destruction. So when RBCs become all damaged after 120 days, they are removed by macrophages located in the spleen and liver. So katulad na banggit ko kanina, after they are removed by the macrophage, the gluten part of the hemoglobin is broken down into amino acids and can be reused for new proteins. And the iron is released from the heme and transported back to red bone marrow, and to be used again or recycle, and the heme is converted into bilirubin. So this bilirubin is taken up by the liver and released into small intestine as bile. So if the liver or the bile flow is disrupted or destroyed, or there has been a problem in the liver, so bilirubin can build up in the circulation and causes jaundice. So this jaundice is the yellow discoloration of the skin. That means that the bilirubin is setting on the skin. Yan. And yan. So after entering intestine, this bilirubin is converted into other pigments by bacteria. And also, our bilirubin is the one that gives our stool its brown color, or stercobilinogen, and for our urine is yellow color, the urobilinogen. And so this is the bilirubin metabolism. So the heme will be acted upon by the enzyme heme oxygenase to become biliverdin, and this biliverdin will be acted upon by the enzyme biliverdin reductase to become unconjugated bilirubin, or the B1. And with the help of the UDPGT, it will be converted into conjugated bilirubin, or B2, and it will be acted upon by intestinal bacteria, wherein it can be converted to urobilinogen and stercobilinogen to become urobilin and stercobilin. Yeah. So next will be our white blood cells, or our WBCs. They are spherical in shape and does not have hemoglobin, and they are larger than our RBCs. Each WBC has a nucleus unlike our RBC and makes up our buffy coat when blood is separated into components. So this WBC can travel throughout the body via amoeboid movement, and wherein the cell projects cytoplasmic extension to attach to an object. So what are the functions of the WBC? So they protect the body against invasion and remove dead cells, debris from tissue via phagocytosis. There are two types of white blood cells. We have the granulocytes and the agranulocytes. So kanina kung naalala nyo, dun sa picture ng hematopoiesis, there are two progenitor lines, the CLP and the CMP. So sa CMP, we have the granulocytes, and our CLP, we have the agranulocytes, or our lymphocytes. Yan. So the granulocytes has three types. So we have the neutrophil, basophils, and our eosinophils. So it means that this WBC contains granules in their cytoplasm, while our agranulocytes, which are the lymphocyte and monocyte, does not contain granules in their cytoplasm. Yan. So first, we have our neutrophil. So roughly half of white blood cells are the neutrophils. So they are the first line of defense or the first cells of the immune system to respond in invaders such as bacteria or virus. They send out signals alerting other cells in the immune system to respond to a scene. And they are the primary cells that are present in pus. Once they are released from the bone marrow, these cells live for only around 8 hours, but around 100 billion of these cells are produced by your body every day. Yan. Then we also have our basophil. So kung nakikita nyo sa picture, it contains so much granules. So it accounts only around 1% of the WBC and important in mounting a non-specific immune response to our pathogens. So these cells are perhaps best known for their role in asthma. So when stimulated, these cells releases the histamine among other chemicals. So the production can result in the inflammation and bronchoconstriction in the airways. Kaya kapag may asthma tayo, so ibig sabihin nun, sobrang daming release na basophil. So what happens is, nahihirapan kang huminga kasi nagko-close o nag-bronchoconstrict yung ating airways. So nagko-close or sumisikip yung ating airways. Yan. Due to the production of our or release of our basophil. Kaya di ba kapag may asthma o kapag may allergic reaction tayo, umiinom tayo na antihistamine. So to counteract the release of the histamine caused by our basophil. Yan. Then we also have our eosinophil. So the granulocyte siya, if you could see in the pictures, we have red granules. Yan. So kapag tinignan niyo siya sa microscope, yun yung kanyang parang pinakamadaling way para ma-distinguish mo ang neutrophil sa ating eosinophils because it contains red granules. So the eosinophils plays an important role in fighting off bacteria and are very important in responding to infections caused by parasites. Parasites, most especially caused by worms such as Ascaris, lumbricoides, and hookworms. They are perhaps best known, however, for their role in allergy symptoms when they essentially go overboard in mounting an immune response against something like pollen, which is mistakenly believed as invader. So, yan, kapag may allergic reactions, then mataas din yung count ng ating eosinophil. So, these cells account for no more than 5% of the WBC in your bloodstream. Then we have our lymphocytes or our first example of a granulocyte. So lymphocytes are very important in the immune system. So they are responsible for direct killing of foreign invaders such as bacteria and viruses. So it has two types, the T cells and the B cells. And then they produce the antibodies that remember an infection and stand ready in case your body should be exposed. So the B lymphocytes played the main role in the efficacy of the majority of the current vaccines, but in some cases, especially the tuberculosis and the pertussis vaccine. And we also, the T lymphocytes, which are also very important. Then we have the monocytes or the horseshoe-shaped cell. Monocytes are the garbage truck of the immune system. So it is composed of 5% of the WBC in the bloodstream, and their most important function is to migrate into tissues and clean up dead cells. Then lastly, we have our platelets or thrombocytes, or more importantly known as the blood clotting cells. So they are produced in the red bone marrow by megakaryocytes, and these megakaryocytes are broken down into smaller pieces to become our platelets. So you could see this one, these are the RBC, and this one, the smaller ones, is our platelets. Yan. So what are the functions of platelet? So it prevents blood loss. So the first thing that the platelet do or does during trauma or wound is the vascular spasm. So it is an immediate but temporary constriction of the blood vessel. So after that, there will become the platelet plug formation, which is the accumulation of platelets that can seal up small break in the blood vessel. So it can be acted upon by positive feedback mechanism or the cascade of chemical release to activate many platelets. Then the second process will after the platelet plug formation is the blood clotting or our coagulation. So during coagulation cascade, so the blood transform from liquid to gel. So during this time, there will be the fibrinogen will be converted to fibrin to trap the blood cells and the fluid. So the formation of the blood clot depends on the clotting factors. So what are the steps of the coagulation process? So chemical reaction can be started in two ways. Can be caused by inactive clotting factors that come into contact with exposed connective tissue, and chemicals such as thromboplastin that are released from injured tissue, causing activation of the clotting factors. So these clotting factors activate other clotting factors until prothrombinase is formed. So this prothrombinase is the one that converts to prothrombin or the inactive clotting factor to become the thrombin, which is the active form. So this thrombin is the one that converts the fibrinogen to fibrin and create a mesh-like appearance that covers the blood vessel. Yan. So at each step of the process, each clotting factor activates many additional clotting factors to create the formation of clot. So the clotting factors are made in the liver and requires vitamin K for the production of the clotting factors. It also requires calcium and other chemicals released from the platelets. However, clotting factors, excuse me, clotting process can be stalled due to low levels of vitamin K, low levels of calcium, and low numbers of platelet, and reduced production of clotting factors due to dysfunctional liver. So, kapag may sakit yung ating liver, so maapektuhan yung production ng clotting factors, and ganun din, maapektuhan din ang ating coagulation cascade. So, control of clot formation. So, clots need to be controlled so they don't spread throughout the body. So, we have the anticoagulants or the chemicals that prevents blood clotting. So, we have the antithrombin and the histamine that inactivates our thrombin. So, injury causes enough clotting factors to be activated that anticoagulants can't work in that particular area of the body. Then we have the clot retraction and fibrinolysis. So when we say fibrinolysis, it is the destruction of the fibrin. Yan. So removal. So after a clot forms, begins to form into more compact structure, which causes clot retraction. So platelets contain actin and myosin. So it forms small extensions that attach to fibrin through the surface receptors, and contraction of extension pulls on fibrin and led to clot retraction. So during this retraction, serum is squeezed out of clot. And retraction of blood pulls edges closer together and repaired by the fibroblasts. And these clots are dissolved by fibrinolysis. So plasminogen is converted into plasmin, and that can be stimulated by thrombin, the TPA, and other clotting factors that are released from the surrounding tissues. And this plasmin then slowly breaks down the fibrin and dissolves our clot. So heart attack occurs when the clot blocks the blood vessel that supplies the heart. So plasmin activators quickly dissolve the clot and restore blood flow. So we can use streptokinase and TPA to dissolve these clots and to prevent a heart attack. Yan. So this is a picture of the blood coagulation pathway. Yan. And then we also have blood grouping. So if you are familiar, blood grouping, so we are talking about our blood types. So we have the ABO and the ABO grouping. So and other blood groups. So transfusion is the process that transferred blood or other blood components from one individual to another. So early attempts were unsuccessful due to transfusion reaction. So the first transfusion was done into a priest, and they use kids to transfuse blood to the priest, but it was unsuccessful because the blood that are being transfused to the priest was incompatible to the patient. So, caused by interactions between antigens and antibodies. So, the antigens are the molecules that on the surface of the RBCs can force body to produce antibodies when exposed to foreign antigens. So, example nito is the vaccination. And the antibodies are the proteins in the plasma that are very specific, while infusion is the introduction of fluid other than blood, such as saline or glucose into the blood. So, example nito is kapag dinadextrose kayo, yan. So, IV fluids are example of infusion. So when antibodies in plasma bind to antigen on surface of the RBCs, they form molecular bridges that connects the RBC together. So we have the agglutination, which is the clumping of the blood cells, and the hemolysis or hemolysis, which is the rupturing of the RBC due to the improper antibodies with antigen. So debris from rupturing can cause severe tissue damage, especially in the kidneys. So usually this hemolysis can happen if the blood that's transfused to you is incompatible with your blood type. So it can happen if there's wrong blood type, or if it's there has been a problem, if there has been cold agglutinins or warm agglutinins in your body that react with the blood that is being transfused to you. Yan. So what are the ABO blood groups? So we have the blood type A, B, O, and AB. So the blood type A has A antigen and anti-B antibody, while the blood type B has B antigen and anti-A antibody, while the blood type O has neither antigens and both have the anti-A and anti-B. So that make it as the universal donor, and our blood type AB that contains A and B antigen and does not have antibody that makes it the universal recipient. So this one, the illustration shows the forward and reverse grouping reaction patterns of the ABO blood group. And also on the other side, on the right side, is also a slide method showing the agglutination. Yan. So if we could see in type AB, there are two agglutinations in the anti-A and anti-B, while in type B, there's only agglutination in the type B. Type A only in the type A, and type O, there is no agglutination in both slides. Yan. Okay. So ABO blood group. So anti-A and anti-B are not found in blood until 2 months after birth. So antibodies can be produced if type A or B antigens of bacteria or food are ingested. So type O blood is the universal and can give blood without causing an ABO reaction, but can only receive from other type O. Yan. So this is just a more clear illustration. Yan. Then we also have the RH blood group. Kung importante ang ABO blood group, importante din yung ating RH blood group. So we have RH positive and RH negative. So the most safest blood that can be transfused to an individual without doing an compatibility testing is type O negative. So, during emergency cases, pinaka-safe na i-transfuse is the type O negative. So, it can be given to everyone and that has severe blood loss, and it will not cause transfusion reactions. So most people are Rh positive, and the rarest combination in the US is the AB negative blood. So it is very rare, especially in the Philippines kapag AB negative. So usually ang mga negative, Rh negative sa Philippines are usually half Americans or half European. Yan. So because of their bloodlines. And antibodies against Rh antigens do not develop unless Rh negative person is exposed to Rh positive RBC multiple times. Yan. So this happens, the hemolytic disease of the newborn or the erythroblastosis fetalis. So destruction of the RBCs in the fetus caused by antibodies produced in the Rh negative mother acting on the Rh positive blood of the fetus. So what happens is during the first pregnancy of the mommy, so walang okay si baby. So walang magkakaroon ng hemolytic disease of the newborn. But since nagkaroon na siya ng antibodies against this blood, the Rh positive, yung magiging second baby niya ang magkakaroon ng hemolytic disease of the newborn kasi magkaiba ng Rh ang mommy and ng daddy. So most likely si baby kasi makukuha niya yung Rh antigen ni daddy. Yan. So HDN can be prevented by the use of the ROGAM. So the Rh negative mother will be injected by the ROGAM during his pregnancy to prevent the HDFN. So it contains antibodies against the Rh antigen. So this bind to Rh antigens of any fetal RBCs that enters the mother's blood and inactivates the fetal Rh antigens and prevents sensitization of the mother. So diagnostic blood test. So usually what are we doing in the laboratory is the blood typing, ABO and Rh typing, and the cross-matching. So to prevent any transfusion reactions, blood must be typed. So both the patient and the donor blood should be typed, and this blood type will be further examined during cross-matching kasi hindi naman ibig sabihin na pares kayo ng blood type and pares kayo ng Rh blood group is compatible na. So there are instances that kahit na same naman ng blood type, still the blood is incompatible to the patient's blood. So this blood typing determines the ABO and Rh blood group. So cells are separated from the serum, then tested with known antibodies to determine type of antigen on the cell surface. While the cross-matching, the donor's blood cells are mixed with the recipient's serum, and donor serum is mixed with the recipient's blood cells. So donor's blood is considered safe if no agglutination occurs in either match. So during this time, unlike before, yung ating mga hospitals now are more equipped with better cross-matching materials or machines. Before kasi, we use tube method. So it is more harder and longer procedures. Unlike now we have the gel type. So mas mabilis siya and mas madali mo makikita if there are agglutination or hemolysis in the cross-matching. Yan. Then we also have, for diagnostic blood test, is our complete blood count or the CBC. So in the CBC, we can see the RBC count, hemoglobin, hematocrit, measurements and our WBC count. So the RBC count can be performed electronically or microscopically. So about 4.6 to 6.2 million are found in the males, while there are less, which is 4.2 to 5.4 in the females. So erythrocytosis is the overabundance of RBC. Then we can also measure the hemoglobin. So since mas mataas ang RBC count, mas mataas din ang hemoglobin count ng ating males compared to females. So anemia. So ito po yung one of the things that are being looked upon by our doctors to check if a patient has anemia. So low number of RBCs or low number of hemoglobin in each RBC. And we also can check our hematocrit or the percentage of total blood volume that is composed of the red blood cells. Then in our CBC, we can also check our WBC count. So it measures total number of WBC. So there is 5,000 to 9,000 WBC per microliter. So when we say leukopenia, low WBC count due to destruction of red bone marrow, it can be caused by radiation, drugs, tumors, folate, and B12 deficiency, and leukocytosis increase WBC count. Usually found if the patient has bacterial infection that increase the neutrophil number and can also lead to anemia or bleeding. Then we have the cancer, which is the leukemia or abnormal production of WBC type. So the red marrow cancer. Yan. So the WBC does not function normally and susceptible to infection. Then we can also count the differential WBC. So it gives the percentage of the 5 kinds of the WBC. So kapag mataas ang neutrophil, most likely may bacterial infection. Kapag lymphocyte, viral. Pag eosinophil, it can be caused by parasitic infection or allergic reaction. Ganon din ang ating basophil. Then platelets, we have so can be assessed by platelet count and the prothrombin time or PT time. For platelet, 250 to 400,000 platelets or per microliter is the normal amount. And if there is low platelet count, it is called thrombocytopenia and can be caused by lack of B12 that can cause bleeding. And we also have the prothrombin time, or measure how long it takes blood to start clotting. So thromboplastin is added to the whole plasma and be measured. So normal time is 9 to 12 seconds. So it can be slowed if the patient has vitamin K deficiency or liver disease. Then the blood can also be used to check the blood chemistry. So composition materials dissolved in plasma can be used to assess functioning of many of the body system. Yan. End of presentation. And for assignment, so what is anemia? What are the different types of anemia and give their signs and symptoms, and how to prevent iron deficiency anemia or IDA, and what kind of anemia often affects pregnant women. So thank you for listening and I hope you learned something today. Thank you so much and have a great day.